Hello and welcome to the 19th race of the 2013 Utica Home Track Series here at the Battista Bowl in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Here's your starting grid for today's event. Slightly shorter than normal, 10 cars less than usual, only 32 drivers can fit on track and only 32 cars qualify for this race. Here is the list of drivers. The R's represent the rookies, and if you want to see the full list of drivers that failed to qualify, please check out the video of the last chance qualifier for this event. We've had an entire week of qualifying, and on pole in the final qualifying session, it is Michael Aurelio, car number 1. Now, Michael Aurelio driving this car for the remainder of the season as a favor for the Phoenix, Indiana Motorsport Group. He will have not had a ride otherwise, but at the current moment, doing well on the dirt here today. He's currently the race leader in the opening stage of this race. Aurelio hoping that he can make some good wins at Monza and Österreichring. We take a look at Bryant Valentine, car number 66. He started pretty far up in the pack, and he is one person that you have to watch out for on these short tracks. He is very good at working his way around these types of racing circuits, and he could be a challenge today. He's running for a championship, and he's hoping that he can keep the rest of the championship competitors behind him. Past the lead early on, Megan Curley, car number 20, is going to take away the top spot on track. Now, she has a short track win this season. It's her only victory. She got it at Martinsville, where she won the race by several laps, actually. So Megan Curley hoping that she can duplicate that kind of dominating run for the Gas Tank Engineering Incorporated team as she works her way into the final races of the schedule. We take a look at a driver that's debuting today. Brenda Pericles, car number 14, running about mid-pack. Not the best qualifying ever, but did good in her heat race. Same with Nick Pericles, her brother, who is running slightly further back in the pack. The Pericles family is going to be attempting the remainder of the schedule, which is going to be Monza, Österreichring, and the Myrtle Beach race, which should be a hefty race. This is not the usual color scheme for Jeffrey Finguy. I don't think Jeffrey Finguy ever thought he'd be driving a car that looked like this in his career, but lo and behold, he is. He is replacing Brian Brote in this event. Brote offered the ride to Jeffrey Finguy, who is a dirt champion, and with the hopes that this would give the 68 machine a good finish. Finguy failed to qualify for the race, and he's running for a championship, so it's a win-win scenario. Finguy currently running very well in 6th position, so not letting Brote down. He is known as the Michigan Wolverine in his dirt track career. Don Capps, another championship competitor, not liking that Finguy's in the field and not liking being in dead last even more. He's currently stuck all the way in the back of the pack and is starting to lose ground. Air is shocked. He's got to really put this car in the overtime. He won his qualifier heat, but the car has really tapered off with numerous qualifying and practice sessions and changes in the dirt. Attempt for the lead by Brian Valentine. He tries to squeeze under Megan Curley, and it looks like it will work. The low line has been the great line all race weekend long, and Valentine goes to the race lead just to show how dominating of a car he had. He's going to steal the lead away, and he's hoping that he can put some distance between him and the 20 machine. We take a look at car number 80, Joseph Bryant. He's currently in the top 10. That's a good sign for him. He's trying to catch up to Alex Tanker, who currently sits 35th in points. Now Tanker failed to qualify for the race. Bryant trying to make it in. There's Alex DeMarco, car number 51. He sits 5th. Now, we said road race aces tend to do well here. Alex DeMarco is one of them, though one of the ones that, though we mention them a lot, kind of escapes under people's radars. But Alex DeMarco, a very viable contender and a great driver to boot. Currently sitting in the top 5, having a great race today. We have a battle between Julian Canablez Jr. and Michael Aurelio for the 3rd place position. Now, Canablez was able to take it away by Michael Aurelio, but Aurelio, not having any of that, car number 1 is going to try and dive to the inside and try to see if he can make this pass stick. Now, Canablez is going for a championship. Aurelio, he might not make it into locked-in contention. He's just trying to see if he can win some races or at least get some good finishes so we can get some funding to run the full schedule next season. Sam Young, car number 37, currently sitting in 8th position. Now, he's the only Young in the race as Dillon Young failed to qualify. Sam Young is basically here to try and, 1, get funding, and 2, make sure he can hold off some of the drivers that are trying to pass Dillon Young in points. That would mean trying to finish ahead of Joseph Bryant and Jerry Guerra. Sam Young doing a pretty good job of that right now. He sits way up in the top of the field. Another driver that's a go home driver that's doing pretty well is Cameron Diamond. He sits in the 9th place position. Cameron Diamond has made one career start before this at Kyalami. He's the sole Tanker Motorsports car in this race. Alex Tanker and Brock McMahon, the points leader, both failed to make it in. Cameron Diamond was allowed to keep his ride though. There's Pruden's Lil John, car number 79. She's moved the most positions on track. She was in dead last, 32nd, worked her way up all the way to 15th. So, Lil John having a great car this weekend, hoping that she can make something out of it. Now, she's not going for a championship, nor is she going for license contention. She's just simply going to race on the track. She's a dirt track legend. Brendan Patterson, car number 84, the teammate car to William Duncan, going to have some trouble on lap 96. It looks like he had a tire going down. He might have a fender rub, maybe dug it into the dirt a little bit, but Brendan Patterson would have to pull at the pit road. He would lose a lot of time on track, and he would fall all the way back to the 32nd place position. Ryan Valentine's caught up to lap traffic, and that is Jerry Guerra, car number 78, a driver that does not want to be lapped, as he is currently sitting in 31st, and he's so close to Alex Tanker, but just so far away, and this is not helping him. Also, Jerry Guerra started pretty high up in the field, 4th position, so he's really dropped back since the start, but Brian Valentine going to make quick work of the lap traffic. There is still more to come. Maria Camiso currently sitting in the 4th position right now. She was the runner-up car in the LCQ, just barely made it in, edging out her teammate Jamie Murphy. And at the current moment is the only one of the LCQ cars that's doing well. John Sedino's been really struggling. So Camiso making good use of the LCQ finish, and is running up near the front. She's trying to make sure a LeGray racing car goes into the championship winner's circle 2 years in a row. Nicholas Guerra, car number 6, brought our first caution for today. Mechanical issue in the number 6 car, dives it down to the infield of the racetrack. Is going to make contact with William Duncan. No too much damage to William Duncan. Nicholas Guerra, though, would have to go to the pit road. They'd have to fix it. It looks like they ran over a rock, and it got into the innards of the race car. They get it back on track, but pit stops would occur on lap 117. As you see the leaders going down, Valentine, Curley, Kenneblez, Camiso, and the rest. As you see Nicholas Guerra coming back down a second time to remove a little bit more. Valentine still led the race on the restart, but only 10 cars would be on the lead lap due to the way pit stop cycled out. Valentine had made quick work on pit road along with a couple others, lapped most of the field. Coming up the start just to show how good of a team the 66 car has this race weekend as Russell Curry tries to get his lap back. Nicholas Guerra would have to pit yet again. He pulls out of pit road, instantly dives back down as he hears a rattling. Still has some shrapnel of rocks and pebbles inside the car. They would have to pit again. They would lose a lot of ground on track, and they would have a disappointing race weekend. Nick Pericles, car number 15, we mentioned him earlier when we mentioned his sister. He's currently sitting 11th place, so he is a lap down. He is having a great run at the moment. He was able to work his way past Russell Arcuri, who almost got the lap back, but Valentine made sure he didn't. But Pericles having a great debut start at the moment, sitting up there just on the cusp of the top 10. But we would have a caution on lap 131. Jeffrey Finguy gets turned by Brendan Patterson, sent off track. They go into the outfield, and look at that. Car 68 rolls over. He's got heavy damage. Now, the question was, did Brendan Patterson do that on purpose to help out his teammate William Duncan? We're on board with him. And, yeah, he turned that car down. Looks like he purposely wrecked Jeffrey Finguy to try and take him out of the championship picture, give it to his teammate William Duncan. This is his last start, Brendan Patterson, before Myrtle Beach. And Jeffrey Finguy is furious. They get that car back on track, but that car is heavily damaged, not going to finish well today. Patterson keeps it going. He's still not doing very well. He was already many laps off the pace. Brian Valentine leads it back at the restart, as we still have 10 cars off the lead lap. But look at that, Arcuri and Pericles trying to work their way past Valentine to get themselves back in the lead lap. Incident lap 139. Somehow this did not cause a caution. Now, similar condition here, but on further inspection, it looked like Kenneblez had a tire going down, and he just couldn't help it there. Camiso and Kenneblez go off track. That's going to really hurt Kenneblez's championship efforts, as he was hoping that this would be a good weekend to bring him up. But the actual caution will come out 2 laps later. Joseph Bryant tries to make a 3 wide with Andrew Robinson and Sam Young. It's not going to work. He plows back onto the racetrack and takes Dom Capps, Tyler Benoit, Connor Germain, 2 of those championship competitors with him. Let's go look at a different camera angle, you can see all these cars scattering. Cars just sliding up, a lot of instant bystanders, and there was another car that went flipping over there. It looked like Cameron Diamond, car number 69S. We're on board with him, as yeah, he just gets clipped from nowhere. That car goes flipping, and that's going to ruin the great run he had today. Instant lap 145. Now the pace car has the job to pace the field, but does not like lollygaggers apparently. What is this pace car driver doing? This is similar to what happens at Myrtle Beach most of the time, where our pace car drivers just kind of don't think. And look at this, just plowing all these slower vehicles out of the way. Look at that, Cannibal as a championship competitor. Pace car driver's going to get a bit of a talking to after the race, and a lot of drivers have to pit multiple times. We had another incident on the same lap. Megan Curley tries to regain her spot in the field. It's going to clip Julian Kenneblaze Jr., who is still slow from the pace car contact. And that car goes spinning around. That's the second place driver. They would wave off the green flag start to try and get the field a little bit organized, but it was kind of futile. Drivers are still confused on the start as Brian Valentine leads them off. Only 4 cars left on the lead lap. Samantha Yankee is in 4th place, but is very close to going a lap down. You can see she's only a couple car lengths ahead of Brian Valentine. So only 4 on the lead lap. Going into the later stages of this event, Valentine likes this, especially because he has a decent gap over Megan Curley, who's a couple car lengths behind. Caution 4, lap 148. Connor Germain, 3 wide. Something's going to break on the number 12 machine. Going to plow into Pruitt Littlejohn. 2 cars flipping. There's Vladimir Petrov, the Russian rocket, and Connor Germain. Both go tumbling over. As Connor Germain, he's going to haphazardly go onto the racetrack and just immediately go to pit road. Petrov, close call with Finn Guy, but here's on board with the flipping number 09 machine. Oh man, heavy contact similar to the Estados Cortez wreck. Both drivers keep it going, but their chance of winning are done for today. We had an incident on lap 153. Connor Germain again, he's been slow on the track during the caution there. Neil Evans does not want him on track and is going to shove him off. That car gets turned around, it's going to hold up Jeffrey Finn Guy a little bit. Finn Guy's a little upset, going to just shove him out of the way. He has stacked up a lot of drivers. Connor Germain having a lot of trouble. He would have multiple trips to pit road. We take a look at when the green flag went back going. Treg Togger, his best finish this season is a 5th place at Laguna Seca. He also got a 6th at Zandvoort. But right now, 9th position is looking pretty preferable for Treg Togger. He's had an abysmal year. This is his 3rd top 10 run of the season if he can keep it going. Treg Togger really liking the dirt track, hoping to come back next year with a stronger performance. Michael Aurelio has really struggled. He's had to go to pit road multiple times to take care of various issues with the car. He's dropped all the way back to 23rd place, 4 laps off the pace. Shame for the pole sitter, but he will still have more opportunities. Next week at Monza, which he is the defending winner of. He won the race last year. And the Österreichring the week after that. He'll also have Myrtle Beach to try his hand at racing. It's just a question of whether his brother Chris Aurelio will be able to get a ride for the next 2 events. Jerry Guerra, car number 78, currently sitting in 12th position. If he can gain 2 more spots, he ties it up with Alex Tanker. 3 more spots, he can win it. He will not win it, but pass Alex Tanker. But he still has a long way to go to the drivers ahead of him, so it's not looking too good. At least Guerra will be close going into Monza. But no one had anything for Brian Valentine as he comes to the line, almost lapping Michael Aurelio. Brian Valentine gets his 6th career Utica Home Track Series win, trying to catch up to Matt Evans, who has 7 in total. Valentine said at the beginning of this year they're going to win a championship, and that's what he plans to do. Good job of the number 66 machine to capitalize on this race weekend when some of the championship competitors were not in the field. Let's take a look at your race results for today's event. On top, Brian Valentine. Megan Curley finished 2nd. Alex DeMarco is your Rookie of the Race, his first ever Rookie of the Race award. He was the last car in the lead lap. Then Samantha Yankee, Brenda Pericles in 5th with a great run for a debut driver. Then Maria Camiso, Nick Pericles 7th, a great run. David Yankee, Treg Togger with his 3rd best finish of the year. Russell Curie rounds the top 10. Then we have Benoit, Guerra, who just missed it. Bain, Schock, Duncan, Caps, Robinson, Vladimir Petrov's going to keep it going. Matt Evans had a pretty poor day. Justin Benoit rounds out your top 20. Then we had Neil Evans, the dirt track veteran. Connor Germain, Michael Aurelio, the pole sitter. John Sidino, the LCQ winner. Sam Young, Joseph Bryant, Jeffrey Finn Guy, disappointing 27th. Cameron Diamond, Prudence Littlejohn, Julian Kenneblaze Jr. rounds out the top 30. Brendan Patterson, who may get a penalty in 31st. And Nicholas Guerra rounds out your top 32. He had a terrible day. Let's take a look at your point standings after this race. This is barring the penalty for Brendan Patterson, but he doesn't factor in. William Duncan is your points leader by a good margin over Brian Valentine. Then there's Brock McMahon, who drops down the third. Jeffrey Finn guy, who keeps it up there with Dom Capps, they're tied for fourth. Then Julian Cannabis Jr., Matt Evans is still in it. Bob Sayadino, Russell Curry, Maria Camiso works her way back up to the top 10. Then there's David Yankee, Tyler Benoit, Brandon Bain, the Bain Train, Megan Curley, Nicholas Guerra, Shock, Dustin Capps, Jamie Murphy still in at 18, Zachary Robinson. Colin Bartel is the last driver mathematically eligible to win the championship. Neil Evans, Alex DeMarco, Samantha Yankee, John Sayadino, Ray Takula, Michelle Sayadino, Andreas Allen, Andrew Robinson can't win the championship, but they can't fall out of locked-in contention. Trek Togger back still is not safe from that. So if Togger and Cole and Cortez, well, Cortez is not racing, but if they can do well, they can lock themselves in for next season. Chris Aurelio is dangerously close to the bottom, and so is Alex Tanker. Just to show how close Alex Tanker is, we take a look at 36th and back. 2 points. If Jerry Guerra makes the race and beats Alex Tanker by more than 2 positions, he takes the spot. Then there's Ulrich, Bryant, Decker, Evans, Michaels, Petrov. 43rd and back are 42 or more points behind, so they can't make it in next race. 59th and back can't lock themselves in. So we take a look now at the Rookie of the Year points. William Duncan's on top, followed by Dom Capps, Julian Kettleblatt Jr., Eric Schock, Zachary Robinson, Nicholas Guerra, Dustin Capps, Alex DeMarco, Ray Takula, Colin Bartel. The top 3 are the ones with the best chances of winning the title, though. Next time, we're going to Italy for the Monza race. Then we go to Österreichring and Myrtle Beach. That'll end off our season. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week.